Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X today. That is a 2D 4X video game that I'm working on that's in Godot.net, which is the C-sharp version of Godot. And it is open source, and my headset sounds very quiet in my ears. I don't know. So we have been working on for a long time this thing, and we're getting close to being done with this first round here of the county improvement panel. And today, one of the things we have this list here. So the main thing we're going to work on is county improvement output could take more than a day. Currently, I didn't even think about it until someone said, well, what about stuff that takes longer than a day? And I was like, oh shit, because all of my production, so you produce goods from your counties here. Each county can produce goods from things that you've built, and so we need to, like for a garden, it's going to produce multiple a day, but then some things like scouting equipment is going to take multiple days to look at this picture I picked. I didn't remember that's what I picked. It'll take multiple days to produce the scouting equipment, or maybe only one. We'll probably start it out as multiple days to see how it works, and then we'll go from there. So that is what we want to get to eventually today. But right now we're going to fix this one issue, which is over here. Add construction costs to the possible building. So basically, it dawned on me that nowhere on here does it show the cost of building the building besides so it shows the cost for construction costs like wood, remnants, or influence, but it doesn't ever show like the actual number. And we have a number. If we construct this guy here, it says the construction cost is 0 of 10. So we need to put this construction cost, just say 10 over here somewhere. And we already have a spot for it. So the bummer with this is that it's going to be we have this weird switch every time one of these things is generated, and it's kind of a clusterfuck, I think is the correct terminology. But we're going to want to put it in this default setting, and probably this one. Check for goods for columns. And I haven't worked on, I usually only work on this on the weekends, but I haven't worked on any Godot projects at all this week, I don't think. So my brain's still warming up to the programming brain, as I call it. It's got to get warmed up. I always wonder how people do this for a living. Do they have Mondays? Monday always trash. Their trash days. Or do they, just think about stuff all weekend? Is the weekend break enough? I think we'll write a new method. This one. We'll rename this one though. Construction goods cost, because this goes through and gets all the goods that are required for the construction, like this down here. So yeah, we'll just rewrite that. It's kind of a bummer that I didn't think about this. I mean, I thought about it and I completely forgot. That's my biggest challenge, is remembering, and my lack of knowledge, because I'm just learning as I'm going. I'm not gonna be able to use that excuse forever though. So let's see what the fuck we're supposed to be doing here. So it's going to be these progress things. I have this progress panel, which is what we were turning on and off. See, so it's going to turn this on. So we need to turn on the progress panel in this new method. We'll call it construction cost. We'll put it down here though. It's going to be a private void, and I'm trying to stop using the word private on my methods because it's unnecessary. I'm trying to, do things better as I go along. Update construct. This is why I rename that one construction costs. Max. What did I call this thing? I have music that you guys can't hear, and it is very loud. I don't know if that's bad or good. It's nothing. It's Let's see here. What the fuck did I call this? Current amount of construction. I think it's max amount. I'm surprised it's not right here. And why is this export over like this? I like things a specific way. I don't know why I hit tab there. Okay, we need you to go up like that though. Not for inspector, that's why that's up there. Current amounts, max amount of construction. So let's say update. I kind of am tempted just to put it, because I don't want to call it construction cost because it's going to be confusing when we look for this and this, it's over here. This is what I spend 90% of my time in, is trying to figure out what I want to name stuff. I don't want to call it update max. Let's call it updates only construction costs, I guess. That'll be fine, right? We can rename it later. So this, we got to go the progress container. We need to show that. Let's type some stuff correctly, though. I, for some reason, thought it was going to fix this for me. That's a different thing. That's Word. And then we're going to say we want to hide the progress bar, though. We don't want the progress bar there. And then we want this construction cost text. I didn't call this construction cost label? What the fuck is wrong with me? I could have just clicked on that thing. Control clicked it and gone over here. I didn't. We're going to rename this too. I always like to put what the thing is at the end. This one I just called it a progress bar. Just so I can quickly glance at it. I don't know. The people always tell me that my variable names are too long, but I don't give a fuck. Then we're going to go like this. We're going to copy this over because we do need this. And then we'll put this on a new line just so that I have it bigger so you guys can see what this stuff is. Then we'll $sign. And we'll say this. We'll actually copy that whole thing. We'll do that. Okay, so let's look what else that we have to, I guess it's over here. This is the progress bar. Phrase construction progress. We need to hide that as well, which I don't think we have that. No, we do. All right, for some reason I was like, fuck, we're gonna have to add all this shit. We're gonna want to hide progress title. Okay, and this needs to go in here, and it's towards the top. So let's put it at the very top here. And there we go. Let's rerun this puppy. I always got to double check that my chat is working. I saw somebody else that had a chat that, so my chat, if you're on Twitch, YouTube doesn't come through. It only comes through on my screen on this thing. You guys can't see what I'm doing there on this thing. But I saw somebody else where their chat was being put into the other chat. I got to relook how to do this. Do it better. We got a bug. We got 6 bugs. Oh, because I renamed that variable. That's what you get, right? I've been listening to, so I use YouTube music to listen to music. And Retro, thank you for the follow. I use YouTube music to listen to music, and you can pick the different categories or whatever. But every once in a while, they'll offer up like your top 50 from 6 months ago, and I'm re-listening to one of those top 50 from 6 months ago, and I was wondering when I started, is that going to update this month's from when we get back? It's just going to be the same stuff over and over. I do this thing where I listen to the same album to the point where I don't like it anymore. And so that has some of these songs I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then like the other ones I'm like, oh, I over listen to this thing. Just listen to the same crap. There it is, construction costs. There it is. And it looks right. Only on the second try. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. What did I fuck up? Nothing? We do need to change this. This is really hard to tell. Like maybe this needs to be up here. Like the name needs to be its own title. Because like this whole UI it's functional, but it's not very. I think I'm gonna put a note. Maybe we will. This is done. Maybe we will change that. It's so hard for me to even just. I'm very experienced staring at this goddamn county improvement panel. Oh my god! It says buildings up there. It shouldn't say buildings up there. All right, we gotta fix that. But anyway, even with me looking at this all the time, I'm always like, wait, what am I looking at? So like, I think this needs to be up, like above it in bold or something. Let's make sure that I have that somewhere. This issue's done. I probably do. Prioritize button so people choose to work at county improvements. Let me look at something else here. All right. Prioritize button so people choose to work. We already did that, I thought. Oh, maybe let's edit this because we already did this, but I think the reason I left this here is prioritize people. And we'll do that. Current amount can be below the max amount. I don't know what this is. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah. I can use something because it. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, we still haven't had the ability to remove. Let's do this. Let's just add this in here. Make it so the title, the improvement name is easier to see and possibly at the top of the county improvement panel. Let's convert that to an issue. Okay. What was the other thing I noticed? Okay, this buildings thing. Let's look at this because I'm trying to do my localization as I go along. Otherwise, I have a feeling that's not here. It will be a monumental task to go back and fix all this stuff. So I've been trying to keep up to whatever. I'm trying to do this as I go. So buildings, county improvement, and then there was possible. Oh, you know what? It just dawned on me too. We don't want this scroll bar here. We want it inside, below this possible thing. So when you're scrolling, this stays at the top. Let's just add more issues for myself. Okay. So here's our thing. Here we go. Yeah, this isn't translated. County improvement title. Let's pop open this localization thing. And this should open on this other monitor here. Okay, so we're gonna need a phrase. Let's search here. So we have a phrase that says county improvement, current improvements. So we probably need one with an S on the end. County improvements, which is kind of a bummer. Phrase, county improvements. County improvements. And then we'll translate this into Spanish. And then we will copy this over. And then we'll hit save. We'll close this thing because I think we should actually switch this to Spanish right now. This thing often, you got to re-import this all the time. If you're having issues with localization in Godot where it doesn't always work, it's because you're going to need to re-import this fucking thing all the time. I'm going to listen to this one song again. Like I was saying, I like to listen to the same song over and over until I hate the song. That's how I operate. All right. Let's switch this to Spanish. It is under local something. Man, that's some slow moving there. That way we'll be able to see what's getting translated and what isn't more easily. This panel on the left that we're about to see here shouldn't be translated yet. We haven't gotten to that. This didn't work because I didn't. Oh, one of these is done. Okay. I didn't do it. I didn't copy and paste this thing over. It's going to be at the bottom. It's going to be at the bottom. And we have this. And the other one that we didn't do that I saw here. I guess we should move that one thing around too. It's just all V boxes and H boxes. The whole thing is just, I need to rename this. So originally I was calling things buildings, but then county improvements is its real name. Because they're not all buildings. I hope I'm not fucking something up here by renaming. I think in Godot, like the Godot interface will know and update. If you do it, if you update a, whatchamacallit, why can't we see anything over here? Because this is hidden. Let's pop this thing open. Yeah, I guess I didn't copy that. That's crazy. I did like one, but not the other. So that's that one. It's probably this one, and I think this is the same just without the S. And we want this, so this is the scroll container. We want this outside. Well, I don't know why there's a V box in here. Oh, because we're adding things to this VBox container. So I think we actually can just put this up here. No. No, we cannot. Let's see. So we have this HBox. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Let's just, who gives a shit? If I could just drag one thing, it'd be fine. You're going to know what possible buildings are, right? The player. That was bugged out because we needed this to be closed when I first start here. And okay. I don't see any English in here. So that looks pretty good. Ah. We have this definitely in here. Close. Word close. Close button. There we go. Well, okay. So, what were we doing? I was thinking about making this not scroll. Is that important? It's not really that important. Let's construct a couple of things because I have an idea of like kind of telling. See, if you scroll both these up, I guess it's kind of confusing. You're gonna know, but it wouldn't be better. We'll just put in an issue to fix it next time. Or we could just fix it now, I suppose. Let's open this thing back up. It's not going to be that big of a deal. We have this H box, which we needed in here. So we're going to need another V box. There's always so many V boxes. That is current and possible. So it's going to be two V boxes. That's going to have this thing inside here. And then this is going to go here. And we're going to do the same thing. Yeah, that looks right. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, we'll call this current improvement title, because it's just here for the title. And then we'll add another V box, because we never can have enough of these things. We just want 1 million of them. Get the fuck in here. There we go. And then it's going to be possible buildings. Possible improvements title VBox. And then this should go up here. And this is all gone to shit, but we'll fix it. This needs to be a child of this. This needs to be a child of this. This needs to be... These are all children of this. Okay, so then this thing... It looks to me like no, this is fine. Then we're going to go layout. And we're going to go expand. And then we're going to go to here. Layout. And we're going to go to expand. There we go. We're going to close this thing and see what... Whoa! Wrong one. We're going to see what hell I've wrought upon myself. I have a tiny bit of coffee left. Okay. We're missing something. I think probably this is now the wrong V box that it's going into. Current building V box. I don't think that's true. Yeah, it's right there. And then what is this one? Current possible building. I noticed I had a 3 at the end. That's correct. Let's look at the remote here. This whole game is in the UI, so this is the wrong one. Wrong one, wrong one. The whole game is just UI stuff. County improvement, margin container. I don't know why we have a margin container in there, but it probably makes sense, right? We have nothing in here. Okay, so there shouldn't be anything in there at that point, but there should be a bunch of shit in here. And it is... And that should be over here. And this is set to expand. Fill is right. There's always some weird shit like this when you're dealing with the, we want to mess with this one. Sometimes it will show it as you run the game. I feel like it's this. That's right. And then there's the, so this is the V-box for the title. Oh, I think what we got to do is that maybe, I don't know if it's going to show that. Maybe actually that's wrong. Fill this, so it should fill up this whole thing. And then inside this, we have this. And then this doesn't think it has anything. We're just going to drag and drop something in here. I need some county improvement. That's not what we need. We need UI scenes, which is way the fuck down here. We'll put this in here. Okay, it's there, but we can't see it for some reason. See, this is what I get. I knew there'd be some fucked up thing. You know, we have this background thing. Is it covering it up? No. Okay, this thing isn't. This needs to expand or do something. There we go. That's the problem. And what did I just do? The scroll thing needs to be on expand. And then let's hide this one. Let's restart it. And then we'll delete that one once we... fuck. We gotta turn this off. And wait. I always, I spot check my videos afterwards. Not usually the next day, but like midweek. And it's shocking to me how long I sit just staring, not moving. Okay, so now this thing's at the top. There we go. Wait, we got a bug though. Prioritize. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Did we like rename that or some shit? It's gonna be over here. Even if it's hidden though, it shouldn't matter. Everything's dragged over here. I don't see any empty things. I don't think we're doing any like get child. I usually don't do like get child because of the thing that just happened. Button pressed equals county improvement prioritize. Line 351. Update improvement labels. Yeah, that looks normal. Let's run it again and see what happened here. Research assigned label. It hides the stuff that we don't need right at the beginning. Oh, it happens immediately. Unless this is different. Oh, you know what it is? It's this one that's sitting in here. It doesn't have a thing assigned to it. So let's just delete it. That's the problem. Brain's still warming up. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Sometimes when my brain's warming up, I'm struggling with some fucking bug that's obvious, yeah, that's gone. All right, we got everything here. Let's construct. We got our construction costs still. We're going to have this thing. I'm going to switch this back to English soon. Looks like Everything's working there. Let's construct another one. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. A little sidetrack there, but it didn't take that long. Let's switch this back to English. And, oh, I didn't look. Let's see. Close is close. And so let's go to this next thing on our list because we're going to try, I don't think we'll do it. We're getting close though. Maybe next weekend we'll be able to export and see what disasters we've wrought. Pick between ability to remove. When a county improvement is removed, it also needs to remove any storage the county improvement generates. Okay, I guess we can. This is it. This is the. I've been like putting this one off because it's going to be kind of a pain, and we're going to have to think through this whole thing. So this is still in Spanish, but we can handle it. So after it's so. Well, let's look. There's a better way to start this, I guess. So we have this data here, and we have number built is actually now being used. It is being used. Let's put a note in here. This is used to number the improvement name in the county improvements panel. Okay. So we have. Let's look at it a different way. Let's go over here. We have all this shit's in the inspector. We just need to find one here. So we need to find like canned good. No. We need to go to converted warehouse. No, that's a bad example. Fisher's shed. So its outputs are here. So this is the goods that it puts out. It puts out money. These are not real things. These are just for testing. And it puts out this much, but this is per day. And it just does that at the end of the day. And this is why I was like putting this off because I have to rethink this whole thing. I'm glad someone in chat mentioned something though, because otherwise I would have not mentally prepared myself for this major change. Daily resource generation amount. Daily resource generation bonus. So this is what I was thinking we would need to adjust, but it just dawned on me we need to. This is probably, let's look at how we're generating this stuff. So when things are constructed at day's end, workday over, generate, scavenge, complete construction, work. Generate work resources with skill check. Okay, so what we've done, what we've done here is we have these, see how ugly this is? It's like so confusing. Let's rerun this in English though. Let's see here. So we have these outputs, goods produced, 5, 5, 6. And that actually doesn't do anything. Currently, it doesn't, it just tells us how much it's produced, but it looks like in the code, we generate work resources with a skill check. It's actually pulling from those daily resource generation amounts. It shouldn't be that. This is an old way of doing it. So this is busted. This no longer works how we want it to. That's a stupid comment. Yeah, no shit. We're about to change it. Okay. So what we want to do is figure out something here. So for the output goods produced, 5 money, 5 wood, 6 fish. That's going to be per day. So this is how much it produces per day. And if you think, so the way I'm kind of doing this is more like Hearts of Iron. If you've ever seen Hearts of Iron or played that game, Hearts of Iron 4, where you have the thing and it shows like the progress you're getting towards there. This thing's gonna be all fucked up. I'm trying to think how they do it in Victoria 3 with, it doesn't matter, with multiple day productions. I'm trying to think something that takes multiple days in Victoria 3. I mean, whatchamacallit? Boats. There we go. Ships. But I can't think of how it does the production. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what we need to do, if it's per day, we know. So this is per day if you have the building fully employed. Which, so it's going to have. So there's 5 people here. Let's say. I think it's actually 2 on the fishers. We can just construct this. I think it will tell us. We might have to do it one more. That's builders. Yeah, we'll have to wait one more. That's probably information we need to know, too. Good God. Is how many people work there. Man, another thing that I gotta fix? Alright, it's not gonna be that hard. Let's fix it. The number of people that work there. I feel like I had all this stuff and then I hid it. And we're using the same bar, the same label for everything, which we're not going to be able to do. This is where we want it to be, because you're going to want to be able to, like, one of the things when you're picking what you want to build, you need to know all this information to make an educated guess or educated choice. You know, you got to be like, oh, well, this thing takes this Joker has it going. So, you know, you need to know like the construction cost, the improvement, the construction amount. Because let's say this was really huge, you might be like, fuck this, I'm not building this. But we probably need to know the number of people over here as well. So let's fix that. Because that's another thing. Like if it takes 10 people, you might not want to build that because it's different. It's a different amount. So let's do. We're going to need. We can't use this one because we're using this for. Once you click construct, it adjusts it over here. We should put another one up here that just says like workers. Man, this panel is ugly as fuck. I know I say that all the time, but let's put it up there. Let's put it up there just out of laziness. Construction costs. Duplicate. Number. Whoa. I hit F2 to rename and it didn't. It tricked me. Max workers. And then we're going to need another variable over here. Not here, though. Here, we're going to need, it's above this. Did I put that above it? I guess I haven't put it. Let's put it below it. Public label, max workers label. let's go back down to our thing here where we are. So we're going to need that in two different spots. See, once again, we're just expanding this goddamn thing. This is the progress panel. It should be getting hidden every time this is generated. So we'll do it on this. We'll rename this update construction costs, construction costs, and workers. That's what we'll do. I'm not liking anything I'm doing today. And we just said we were going to put it below it. Yeah. Workers, I called it max workers label equal dot text equals $. Let's look over here. Do we have anything that says like workers, visitors, workers, current adjusted? Okay, we don't have anything there. We're gonna say it's gonna be a phrase. We can call it something crazy like employment slots or something. Job openings. Employment slots. Max workers. Or we could just call it max workers. Let's just call it max workers. Phrase, max workers. And then we'll go over here. Then we'll go over here, Maximo. There we go. And then I don't know what I have copied. I don't think it's the right thing. It's not. Okay. And so when we set that, we're going to go squigs, tr. I don't know what hotkey I accidentally just hit. I was going for that. What did we do here? We did a space, a colon, another space, and then $, county improvement data, max workers. There we go. We got to drag this thing in here though. We need to build this over here. And this is going to be, go to here. And there's something I'm forgetting. What is it? There's one thing. I know that there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, did I add this to the hide thing? I don't think I'm hiding the progress panel. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, you know, I don't know. Well, I think we got one problem. It's going to, once we produce it and it's under the under construction area, I don't think it's going to show it right. County improvements, max workers 0. Oh, I didn't. We can fix that in a second. Max workers 5, 10, 3, 1, 5. Okay, that works, except we didn't get the translation thing, because like I was saying a minute ago, you gotta re-import this shit all the time. A minute ago? This time it has an X on it, though, at least, to tell you that there's something wrong. It can't be open either. Alright. So that looks okay. But then when we go to construct, what's it going to do? What are we making here? The lumberjack station. Okay, so then this thing. I think what I'll do, let's put this back. Let's rename this back to here. And I also don't like where it's at. Update max workers. Because the reason we're going to have an issue here is my KD thing didn't work. The reason we're going to have an issue here is well, let's just run it and it's going to go here. And then this is also going to be under construction. We wanted to see it. And we're going to run this. I think it's in a bad spot. So this looks fine, but then once we construct this, it's still there. Well, we need one that has workers. Converted warehouse. Why is there two of these? We found a bug. We found another bug. Converted warehouse. Converted warehouse. I don't think our duplication is working right. That's very strange. We'll fix that in a second. We'll duplicate it. Oh, did it also produce when I built that? I think it made two. So this is fine up here, but then once we build this, let's see here. You're gonna have, it should go away, but you're gonna be looking in a different spot. See, this is gone. That's crazy. Was there already one there? What is going on here? Max workers didn't go away though. Okay, so we've got to add something else here to this, our hide everything. Where'd you go? So that's one thing. We got like multiple things happening. But anyways, you're gonna look down here. So it's up here, and then suddenly it's down here for where the real number of max workers is. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not. We might want to move that thing around. But we have another problem here though. And that's that we got two of those converted warehouses and we shouldn't. Wonder how long that's been going on. Sometimes like bugs appear. I think it was after I built one. Yeah, so I like constructed this and then we have one over here. But does that happen? Like, let's say we construct a garden. That's some crazy ass shit right there. So it only happens when we construct the converted warehouse, and it only happens the first time we do it, which is even weirder. Let's run this again just to double check. Let's build something else first, because maybe it's the first thing we build of anything. It shouldn't be messing with this other list. Oh, it puts a converted warehouse here regardless of what you build. Well, that's some fucking bizarre shit. Oh, look, and it has 2 Fisher sheds over here now. I only built 1. There must be some, but it only happens the first time. That's some weird, some strangeness. I wonder if it's because I moved that one thing around. I deleted the thing that we had that was just for testing. Let's go with a garden this time. All right, so I've built 1 garden at this point, and we now have 2 converted warehouses. Then let's build a converted warehouse. Let's build the first one. And now we have 2 gardens. And they're the same because they have this number. They're the same thing that's getting duplicated twice. I wonder if we have some weird shit. Well, obviously we got some weird shit somewhere. So let's look at we have, it's actually in here somewhere. Is it in here? Let's look over here. We want, it's going to be here, building confirmation. Build improvement, charge for building, update resources, create all. Something's getting added to the wrong list. So we have lists. So this status updates, number built improvement, it probably has something in here. See, we're adding this. Oh yeah, there was this craziness with this thing where the pluses had to be before that. It's very strange. Number of count duplicate improvements. We aren't, nope, instantiating in anything. So when that instantiates, let's see. No, it's this one that we want. So it goes through the list. There must be, and we get this new copy. So it goes through the list. Create county improvement buttons. We have something called parent. We did just change these around, so that's what I'm wondering if something we did just fuck that up. Current buildings. VBox. It says buildings, even though it shouldn't. And current possible buildings. This is what it needs to attach to. And because it says it's because this doesn't say improvements, we actually know that we're on the right one. Then we have the dialog, county improvement panel container pack scene. Let's start this over again. And we'll double check, like we'll do each step and we'll kind of follow along to see when this thing appears. It's got to be something's being run twice, but only the first time, which is weird. Okay, we have converted, fishers, garden, lumberjack, research, scouting equipment. So this time it's pulling, when it goes through this list, it goes for list of county improvements. We're passing this in. So this is all county this is all county improvements. This is under construction, and this is completed county improvements. And this is going to go in the possible, and this goes in the current. So those are good. So how is Ryder going? So Joker was talking about what is the official name for that? Ryder IDE? It's another IDE. And they have a free version, I guess, now. If all county improvements. Okay, this is a bool. Then we have this true and these are false. So if all county improvement, it copies it gives us a new data. And then it adds this child. Okay. So this is just pulling just from the list. It's not instantiating. No, it is. It's instantiating it up there. And then it gets assigned the data differently, depending on those two things. But it's the parents there is this parent that we already double checked. Current. It's weird. It says scroll container parent. Scroll container parent. This is a VBox. Not sure why I called it that. Let's jump to these things. Well, it says right there that they're a VBox. Okay, so we have that happen, and then we click the build confirmation. So in the build improvements, but have you been messing around with Rider? County data under construction. That was an hour ago. Is an hour passed already? No, almost though. Oh man, I got some frames, some lag going on. Under construction county improvements add. Okay, so this adds it to the under construction county improvement, which is right. Huh. So this adds it to this list, which is what we want it to be added to. We don't have any ads here. We're just, well, let's make sure like this count thing, it's just counting stuff. I don't see any adding of anything. I feel like I did this before. I'm having some intense deja vu here. And it was something weird. Actually, we don't need to do that yet. We don't, so the thing is we don't remove from this list ever because this is your total. We can add to this list. Let's build like a research office and see what happens. Yeah, I can tell because it's jumped around. But we're getting, this is happening in the converted warehouse. We had some weird check for converted warehouses because they are different. Create all county improvements, update resources, maybe in charge for building where you like put in so the thing with county and with the whatchamacallit with a warehouse, it adds to your resources the minute it's built. And where did I add that in? So it was like you hit yes. Is there something in here that like checks to see if it's I can't remember if it's a county improvement, if it's a warehouse? There was some storage thing. I'm going to take a break in a second here, but I think it was called like storage. Add storage to county. Check if storage improvement. I wonder when this started. Add storage to county. What is this thing? Set county improvement complete. We did mess with this the other day. Add storage to county. This doesn't actually instantiate a building or anything. A county improvement. Add story event. You got your, well, today's Saturday. I'm assuming your video's out or soon to be out. Your Saturday videos. So we could, I'm trying to think of ways to search for this. Maybe I should just go take a quick break. Whoa. Maybe I should just go take a quick break. This just returns true or false. I feel like it's the child is being added to the wrong. Well, would that be the case? What did I build? A research office, and we got another one of these. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I think the my break will hopefully jog my mind into action. It probably won't, but all right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes, like I said. All right, I am back. Let me throw up my break timer, or throw down my break timer, get rid of my break timer, start my music that you guys can't hear. And so it doesn't do it. It only does it in this one, and it always puts in a converted warehouse. Converted warehouse is the first thing. So it's like it's duplicating the first thing. We can double check that by renaming that, because it's alphabetizing it. I wonder if that's the problem, is the alphabetization. We can just put a Z at the beginning of this. It's going to fuck up the... Why does everything sound so weird in my ears all of a sudden? It sounds like I'm underwater. It doesn't sound like that when I'm... Did this get turned down? Oh, it did. There we go. Now I'm really loud. My little thing on OBS shows correctly, but holy shit, I'm very loud now. My music is blasting. It must have slowly been going down over time. All right. It's so loud now. My voice is insanely loud. Okay. Well, that's hopefully... All right. What were we doing? Converted warehouse. Converted warehouse. We put a Z in front to see if it's just the first one always, because it will alphabetize that when we build something. Maybe the alphabetization. We did alphabetize. We did mess with alphabetizing. So now the Fisher sheds first. And we got another Fisher shed. Okay, so it's not that it's the converted warehouse. It's that something is going wrong with the first thing. Let's go back over here and get rid of this Z. So it's the alphabetizing. When it alphabetizes this, when does it do it? It goes through... it instantiates all these things. It alphabetizes the list, and I think we added in an alphabetizing last time. Where did I do that? That was for I think it was here. Sort, compare, improvement name Y. List of county improvements count. So it sorts this list. I don't know if this was where I was doing. I moved where it was happening, is what I did. So let's turn this off temporarily and not alphabetize it and see what happens. And that will narrow down our problem here. I think I moved it, is what I did. Did I turn off my break timer? I did. We're still getting 2 of them. So it's not this. Let's find sort. Remove the lowest skilled worker. Sort the list of food. I didn't think I used sort all that much, but I guess I did. Possible, sort workers if there's room, sort skills. Sorted skills. There was the other thing, and it kept telling me collection can be simplified. Order descending to list. Oh, this is a different thing, though. To list. Let's look for to list. That's not what we want. What is this shit? I bet you it has some... No? Find fraction owned neighbor counties. What is this? This is an attribute thing. Possible workers. So it happens to the first one regardless of what it is. When you build something, and it only happens once. Yeah, it only happens once. But then it starts happening over here. I feel like it's this. So one of these... This is... This sorts it in place. It's not creating a new one. Let's comment this out again. I think it was still commented out because I noticed it wasn't saved, but let's do it again. I want to see something. I want to see if it does it in the possible one too, because it doesn't happen. It only happens the first time. The possible one, it would, there's only one thing over there. Let's do a garden. So we have two of these. We have one garden here. We need something with a different name. Yeah, then it happens again. So we have lumberjack station, fisher shack, garden. So it also only happens the first time, regardless if this thing is commented out. So there's some sort of... an unexpected weirdness. So it makes that just one. I wonder if it's list of county improvement count. So this is before it's been sorted. I'm trying to think of the best way to test this. It only happens the first time. I'm going to ask ChatGPT what this does. I wanted to see if it says, oh, well, you're gonna get a second one. List the alphabet by improving lists. It's a lambda function takes two elements, lists and compares their. As a result, this is sorts in ascending alphabetical order based on improvement name. It would happen every time we open and close this thing. Do they come and go? No, they're still here. So the list, it's something is adding it to the list. Why only the first time though? The first time it happens. I don't even know if that works. So this isn't alphabetizing now because I had this thing commented out. So we definitely need this, and this is not the problem. Because otherwise we would have gotten duplicates of the converted warehouse, and we only have one. So it only happens the first time. I know I've said this 16 times. I want to look at research real quick. See if there's anything weird in here. Oh, we don't have our number of people showing up. I'm going to put that in as a note. Construction cost and max workers needs to show in research panel. I'm going to put this for later. We're not going to do this right now, just so I don't forget about it. We'll put it next, I guess. Yeah. So this list has to be off. This list must be... When you complete the construction, what does this do? Okay, this clears all of the improvements. Possible get child skip 1. Here's the fucking problem. Because we got rid of that thing. We got rid of the thing. We took the title out. And so it wasn't that it's always just skipping the first one. Jesus Christ. It's that title. I knew that was going to screw me somehow. Okay, so it was skipping 1. There we go, and it's deleting them. That was it. And then let's build another one just to test here. Okay. Then what was the thing I just saw? Research needs to be updated. So if we go to like here, we need to turn those things on over here. And how did we do that? That is going to be under check if research is assigned. We're in the county improvement container. No, that's a different thing. Generate output goods and generate input goods. These are very similar. Add goods panel. Generate construction goods cost. Check for hiding. We're in the wrong spot here. Let's go back up to our switch here. In research panel is where we need to add in. We need to update max workers. And we need that other thing, whatever it was called, construction cost. Because you're going to want to know that information when you're picking your research. And I use that same panel in both spots. I figured might as well, right? I still got to do something about those bugs. That's not what I wanted at all. That's not what I want at all. Construction cost is 100. But once again, it doesn't, we have to have this update max workers. We need to show. There we go. Let's try this again. And my muscle memory is now I've been immediately going to, click on a county, then click on this thing, but I gotta retrain my brain here. Max workers 5, construction costs, that wasn't too bad. Let's close this. We haven't done any translations on that page, crazy. Max workers, construction cost. All right, we put off the painful stuff as long as we can. Solving some bugs. All right, so back to this. I don't need that open anymore. So this county, let's pick something that has a output. So we got to have the county, these things need to be multiplied by some number. So we need it multiplied by the number of people working there. So we basically need a cost that's set in stone. So these daily resource generation amounts are not going to be correct. We need it, say, like each person working there does 10 points of construction or whatever, of worker points. So each person does 10 points of worker points, then it's going to multiply that number. No, it's going to divide the number, and this is the number you would get. So, yeah, so if this should be 60, we would get 6 fish. So we would get 6 fish every day if we divided whatever that number is by 10. But so that makes sense. That would be easy. We just change this number to multiply it by whatever. But what about if we have something that is really expensive? So we have something that takes 10 days. So 10 days times 10. So we would have this number multiplied by the number of days, which is 100, multiplied by this. So we would say this is 600. And then we would divide by 10 every day. And so we would subtract 10 every day. We wouldn't divide by 10. We'd subtract 10 every day. So it would go down to 590, whatever. That's not working in my brain for some reason. Because we're going to subtract 10 every day from the amount until it gets to 1. So this number would, if we had it at 60 and you subtracted 10 every day, you wouldn't get 6. You would get a partial done amount. So if we put, man, there's got to be an easy way to do this, and I just fucked it up in my brain. Let's think about this again. Let's start with something that costs multiple days, and let's say it's 100. So a tank costs 100 to be built, and we want it to stretch through like 10 days worth of stuff. So if we did 10, so 100, and we did 10 amount of work a day, it would take 10 days because we would subtract 10 each day. Perfect. So if we have 100 in there and we subtract 10, it would take 10 days. Very simple, right? So then what about things that we want multiple done the same day? So we could do like a bool or something. But let's think about this again. So we want 6 items done per day. No, let's say it's 10. We want 10 items done per day. And we subtract 10. Every day we're subtracting 10, right? So if we it'd be easier if we divided. But we're not going to divide. We're going to subtract, because we got to subtract a number. Um, so if we subtract from 1, we're going to have -9. And then we're going to subtract from 1 again. And we're going to have -8. And then we're going to subtract. So that's a lot of subtracting to get the number up there. I'm thinking about the loop we're going to do in the program. You know, like if it's less than 0, do it again. And if it's less than 0, do it again. And if it's less than 0, do it again. Which I guess isn't the end of the world, but I would like to not have a loop that goes through every fucking person and everything that much. So that seems like the way we should do it, though. Is there a better way to do this? We could divide. We could divide. So we have. Now we got to subtract, because if we divide. So if we go back to the 100 thing. Yeah, it's because we're not going to have a set number all the time. This is going to be different. This is like a. It's actually down here. This is like a, you get a bonus to your thing. So let's write this in code somewhere. I think we're just gonna have a loop that it goes through. Okay, so let's go to where this is gonna be. This is gonna be under like work or some shit. And we're gonna have to rearrange a couple of different things. Workday over for population. We're gonna write this like it's gonna be very it's gonna be very long. Scavenge resources. How are we doing that? That's gonna be different. All right, let's go back over here. Let's say, are we going to do scavenging the same way as other work? I think we probably should, but let's see. I just gotta write down how we're doing, because I don't want to forget. Like we just forget that I just forgot the skip thing. The royal we already did this one. Okay. Complete construction with skill check. That's for building. Building, how is building working then? Building kind of works that same way, but it's not. There's a daily construction amount that just hits that number. Yeah, so I think this is going to work. It's going to be, there is going to need to be some optimization, which I've been trying to keep in mind, you know, that's obviously very important, but I think it's slowing me down too much in my getting shit done. So like I gotta keep in mind, but also move forward and then figure out later what the real problems are with the optimization. If, you know, like maybe some things that I'm worried about being optimized aren't necessarily anything to worry about. Okay, so this work thing is the thing we're gonna do. Diego, how's it going? And thank you for the follow. So I think, yeah, I think I need to worry less about optimization and just get it to work. And then later on, once we figure out the like choke points of what's slowing everything down, we can figure that out. So this generate work resource with skill check is what we're going to be changing. And we're going to need our test thing. We will do a new, let's go to our garden and we'll do only county, not a cost, an output of only county goods right now. I think we're going to change this daily resource generation amount and the bonus amount to the same throughout the game. So let's start with that. We can put that in our globals here. Though, maybe we won't do it that way. Maybe we'll put it in our auto load. We'll leave it here for now. I got to keep also in mind for the save stuff, because we're going to start working on the save stuff too. And all of this shit is just sitting in here. It's going to be kind of painful. Daily construction, daily scavenging, daily work. Public ints, daily work amount equals 10. And we need another export here. Public int daily work amount bonus. It's going to equal 5. Yeah, we're going to have to move so much of this shit. And maybe we don't have to move it, but we need to be able to save this for the save game part. We're going to save resources. We'll have to have like a save game resource. That's what I was thinking, maybe moving that shit to auto load. It's going to have a lot of repercussions when we start fucking around with that. All right, back to this thing. So we need to go back to our work. That was under what, the banker? Was that where I was sticking? Yes. We're also going to have to change this. Not here. I mean, there too. But on this, we're going to have to do the math for how much is constructed, how many goods are produced. Goods produced. We're going to have this change as well. That shouldn't be. That's just going to be some math that we'll write methods. This no longer works how we want it to. I just wrote that earlier today. So we have the county improvement. So this is the person that's working there. It checks their skill level. And then it has the amount. What is this amount? This amount equals our daily resource generation amount. All right, we're going to put a summary in here of what this does. We need a third thing here. So if the skill check passes, it gets this thing, but we're not going to do it this way anymore. We're going to go globals, instance, daily, what did I say that? Work amount or something? There we go. And then this is if they pass their skill check, they're going to do daily work amount bonus. What did I call that? Banker, where are you? Oh, we still have county improvement here. Globals, instance. This is going to be work amount. Generate work resource. No, this is going to be generate work with skill check. Okay, so this is wrong down here too. So how it works in this game is your guys have skills and it gives you a bonus to your to the amount of work they produce. So if they pass their skill check, you get a bonus amount of work done. And originally I was thinking about having it like if they failed, you don't get any, but then the problem with that is that you have like this, you can have like people working and failing all the time and it like you don't get any. It's too much of a, I feel like it's too much of a the player can't tell I can't get a good guess of how much stuff they're gonna get. So what I'm doing is having it so that they always get a certain amount, but then sometimes they get bonuses. So you want your guys with higher skills to be there so that bonus shit is done. All right, so we have this work amount that we have here, and this work amount should be subtracted from the amount. I'm going to call this actually generate work amount with skill check. So then we're going to have another thing that subtracts this amount. We're going to have a method in here called subtract work amount from resource. I don't know why this is gray. Oh, because we have a return, it never gets to here. That's okay. We're not returning this anymore. What was I doing here with this? Let's put this back. This is... Okay, so we're just adding this on. So we could do... This is not going to work anymore. We're going to leave this how this is. This is actually going to be fine. We're going to cut this. And we'll return this int. Return the amount, the work amount for a single person that should be subtracted from the resource cost. And so what we'll have to do in one of these resources, which is what I was going to do, but I guess I never did it. Let's add one of these in here. What are we in? A garden. We're going to have this. So if we wanted 6, we can't do it. Because we need it, well, we could, but it would be some weird number. So we'll say 2. So the vegetables will, the value will be 2. And then this value will be the amount that we subtract the 10 from. So we're going to subtract, we'll have 2 and we'll subtract 10, we'll have a -8. And then we'll have generated 1 vegetable. And then, we'll do it again. We'll subtract 2 and we'll get a negative, -6. Then we'll do it again. Generate work amount with skill check. So we have the work amount coming back. And we need to go back to our work thing, which is where I already lost my... let's go. We'll go through this again. Go through this again. Hit the right button here, though. Check learning. We don't have check learning at the end of this work thing. I wonder why. I just feel like I should just have check learning in here. Shouldn't... Hey, Lord Mac, how's it going? Check learning be in here. This generates the amount of work, the work amount, and subtracts it from the... This dictionary is going to have to change, I think. This generates the work amount. It subtracts it from the work cost of each resource per person. If the result is negative, it does it again until it is positive or 0. Each time it goes through the loop, it generates 1 of the resource. Okay, I wanted to delete this comment, but I was like, we might actually need this in a second here. Generate work amount with skill check. This is returning an int, so we have that, but this is no longer going on here. So I'm going to put notes as we go along. I guess that one's pretty clear. No, let's do this. Generate the work amount that should be subtracted from the resource work cost. So then if we need to subtract this from the county's population, current improvement. So now, see, we need a for loop. So then that's another question. Now, this is what we'll do, and I'll put a note in this right here. All work generated is applied to all resources. Well, that throws a wrench in our other idea, though. So what we were going to do is, let's say that their goods produced here, whatever the fuck this is the Fisher's shed, was going to produce money. These aren't real things, but let's say it produces money, wood, and fish. We were going to have it somewhere. Let's construct one of these. I might have taken it out and just said, fuck it, you can't do that. You know what I was going to do, actually, was have it so that the AI can figure it out on its own, what it needs to produce more of. So what I was going to have, well, let's let this build and see if it's still here, because I think I took it out. It's been completed. Produce as needed. Yeah, so there was going to be another button here where you could pick, like, okay, I want more wood to come out. So if that's the case, we need to divide this number as well by the number of resources it's producing. And I think we should do that. This is going to get complicated, but I think it will be much better. I mean, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Okay. So let's put that in here too. The result is negative. That generates the work amount, which is divided by the number of resources the county improvement produces, and then subtracts the divided amount from the work cost of each resource per person. So it's going to do this per person. This is but this shouldn't be out over here. This should be, this generates the work amount per person, which is the county. Come over here. This will be fine here. If, okay. Each time it goes through, it generates 1 of the resource. This generates the work amount per person, which is divided by the number of resources the county improvement produces, and then subtracts the divided amount from the work cost of each resource. If the result is negative, it does it again until it is positive or 0. Each time it goes through the loop, it generates 2 of the resource. 2? Why did I say 2? Because I was thinking about something. What if they're, the different amounts? Okay, from the work cost of each resource. The AI, the population AI should be able to, let's put this at the bottom actually. The population AI should be able to tell if, let's actually not do that right now. Let's go back over here. We'll have to see. I'm going to make sure that this is in the list though. As needed button. No, we need that. List of buildings below would be better. If the bill is selected, then the inspector should add the county improvement to the whatever. Let the players if their economy allows that. Yeah, make it so the improvement name is easier. All right. So this should be have the population AI know which resource it needs. The county or faction needs more so that and have it switch to that production automatically. So once again, I know I've mentioned this 400 times. Victoria 3, you kind of got to start fucking with shit as you get more into as the game progresses, and you're constantly messing. Oh my god, I got to change this to do that, and I find that extremely tedious. So what I want to do when we get to that point is have the population know what is the most valuable shit it should be producing. So if, let's say, you had 2 choices of between whatever, I'm going to use a Victoria example because this actually happens all the time. Wood ships and ironclads. It should know which one it should produce to make the most money. Not where it just produces garbage. It produces wood ships forever until a human comes along and goes, oh shit, you need to produce more ironclads. So that is, and there's also like, so what happens in like Victoria 3 sometimes is someone will join your market, you'll not annex, but you'll puppetize, make them a protectorate or something, some tiny country, and they'll need wood ships. You've already moved on to the ironclad phase, so you're only building ironclads, and suddenly your market has these ships that it's demanding. It's like, it needs some ships. It just needs like 2 fucking ships. And you're like, well, I got to go manually go through, look at all my ironclads being built and decide which one I can want to switch over. I don't, it's a pain in the ass. And then you got to figure out why it's doing that. And you're like, who wants goddamn wooden ships? It's 1905. Anyways, happens all the time. And it's annoying. So I don't want to do that in my game. Okay. Now, but that's where we're getting sidetracked here. But we have what we need here in this banker part. All work generated is applied to all resources. It's because we don't have a dot here. So the county, so how are we going to do this? We're going to have to change a bunch of shit. County population dot current county improvement. No, we need a for each in here. No, we don't. First, we're just going to follow our little thing right here. So we have this is generating the amount we have. So let's put this up here. And we're going to say work amount, int work amount, whoops, equals this. So we have this number now. That is, we hopefully this is working. And so we have the work amount. And with the work amount, we're going to, this is just for one person though. So this is one person's work amount, and we're going to take that work amount and divide it by the number county resource type. This isn't going to work either. Let's blow this shit away. This is no longer. We might not even need this county resource type. No, we kind of use it in a weird spot, but we don't need that right there. Let's comment out this other stuff too. We're going to come back to this maybe. We might just blow this whole thing away. It's wildly different than what it used to be. Okay. You go over here. Or I guess over here. What is your problem now? Okay. So then we have the work amount. Let's K and D this thing. Then we're going to need another int that is the number of resources. I think I have a count thing somewhere where we count resources. Find count. We have all sorts of counting things. Get out of here. Oh, good God. Count everyone in a county? What was that thing? Control Q? Code search? Count. I've been hoping I could find a reason to use this to see how much I liked it. Someone in chat recommended this Control Q thing. What was the other one? Oh, it was find line. It's like Control G or something. Go to line. It's kind of nice. County resource type. Count. County resources. Well, we know where this would be probably. It would probably be in the resource item data. Well, there's a big lag there. Whoa. What the hell is it doing? I'm scrolling quite... Holy shit. What is going on there? Let's stop this. No, that's not helping. All right, we seem to be in okay shape here. I was just talking about earlier about when we get to the grind part, we'll have to deal with it as we hit it. And that seemed like that was grinding something over there. Where are we going to? We want the resource. This is going to be a resource. So let's go to our faction. I swear we have some sort of counting thing. Seems like it should be in here, though. And I do not see it. It's kind of interesting. Maybe we put it under like county data because it's counting the things in the county with our 800 things long here. Copy county resources. We can search in just this thing. I think I saw something earlier that said count. And, you know, I did write this code. The thing is, if I write it again, I mean, if I write it, I'm going to find out. I mean, the minute I'm done, I'm going to be like, oh, there's the thing that counts resources. Count resources. Let's do the whole thing. And I don't care about this one. Count resources. All county resources. Okay. This is checking if they're perishable or not. And it counts them, but this isn't what we want. I'm in deep thought. I guess we don't really need to count them, but it seems like, because it's built in, but I just assumed I had a method for that. I mean, we don't need to have its own method to do it. Let's go back up to this. Here we have our bug here. So all we would do is faction output goods counts, but then we would also do it with this other thing. I just assumed we had this somewhere. What the fuck, man? You see that stuff bouncing around over there? Count. We got the wrong thing in here is the problem. County output goods. We'll put this down here. So it's going to get the number of resources that are being generated, faction and county level. Now we need to do something with some remainder shit. All work generated is applied to all resources. Get the work amount and the number of resources. Divide the work amount by the number of resources. Do we give a shit about the remainder? And ditch the remainder. Remainder? Is that spelled right? That doesn't seem like that's spelled right. Okay, it is spelled right. I haven't checked my YouTube thing in a while there. I just always want to make sure that I'm not missing chat again. Okay, so we want to divide the. Let's put a little space here. So work int each work amount for each resource is going to be work amount divided by number of resources. So that, like, if we have, like, if it's 10 and we have 3, we're basically just going to throw away one work amount. Shit happens. It's inefficiencies. All right, then we have work amount. You know, I think it drives a lot of people insane. I think it drives a lot of people insane. It's something that I've heard in chat multiple times. Is like, good God, your resources or your resources. Oh, I'm reading. Your variable names are long. So the reason I started doing that is because I was doing all these tutorials and they'd always be like x minus y plus 6 divided by j, and I was like, could never follow along the tutorials because I was a beginner. Like, I was brand new, and I'm like, where did you get x from? And then I'd finally find x, and x would be like derp plus gerp. And also, you know, when I started my job 11 years ago, everything was named derp. Every fucking thing was named derp. The old IT guy, that was his favorite word on the fucking planet. So I could never find anything. Just never could find it. He would be like, you know, because he trained me for a month. He'd be like, oh, yeah, there's a file name called derp. It's in there. And I would search, and it would just be, everything would be derp. Derp 1, derp 2, derp. And I was just like, fuck you, dude. Anyways, so that's part of it too. Okay, divide the work amount by the number of resources and ditch the remainder. I use X and Y. So I use X and Y all the time for grids because it's an X and a Y axis, you know? S and T I don't use. Um, yeah, no, yeah, I couldn't believe like stuff that was actually like in the admin console or you know in like the server admin stuff would be named that too because and so I'd be like, can I delete this group called derp or more derp? Yeah, 'cause what is it? What is it linked to? You know, divide that work amount by the number of resources and ditch the remainder. So we have this here. Then we subtract. Oh, we can just get rid of this. Then we subtract the work amount for each resource and add one so we're gonna there's a yeah there's a, okay, we subtract the work amount for each resource and if the result is equal to or greater than 0, one resource is generated. Okay, so we take we got a for loop our way through this shit though. For each okay, so for each subtract the work amount for each resource from the resource cost, and if the result is equal to or greater than 1, one resource is generated. Then greater than 0. If the result is equal to or greater than 0, then one resource is for each. This needs to be a method, but we're going to write it out. Kind of like what I did the other couple weekends ago, where I wrote it all out like very plainly what each thing did, and then I went and merged it all later. I think this is going to be complicated enough where I need to see that. It's probably some amateur bullshit that I'm doing, but I don't care. I need to see it still to get mine. To make sure everything's in the right place before I start merging things. Because, you know, like this, I can't see this right now. Like, I have to go in and then come back and go in and come back. So, so for each key value pair, we want this one. And this is going to be a faction resource data and an int. Key value pair in what the fuck are we in here? We're in the banker. What did we pass? Oh, we have a county data right here. Faction. Let's do this with county first because I put a county resource in there. What did I call it? It's literally right in front of my fucking face. County output. No. This is all wrong. This is all wrong. We need county population. Current county improvement. County output goods. It's not all wrong. It's just mostly wrong. For each one of these, what's your fucking problem? Oh, I put faction here. County. Okay. So then for each key value pair, I don't think this dictionary is going to work. For each key value pair, we're going to have to do a dictionary list, which I haven't done, I don't think, in a very long time. I used to really like dictionary lists, like, loved them. Everything was a dictionary list for everything, and then I stopped doing it. I don't know what changed. Um, County output goods. For each one of these, we need to um, key. We need an int here. Resources. No, we need work done. Work amount left over. No, that's it. And then we're gonna go key value pair amount. What did I call this thing? No, not value. Key value minus work amount for each resource. Whew. Another hour's passed? Jesus Christ. Um, subtract. I know this already says that up there, but subtract the work amount for each resource from the work resource work cost. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I think we're getting there. We're like 3% done with this part. We're 1% done with the game. All right, let me throw up my break timer. And let me pause my music that you guys can't hear. And I will be right back. Okay. I am back. Let me start my music and turn off my break timer here. Um, break timer's off. All right, so it isn't actually a dictionary list that I need. It is. Uh, Now I'm all worried about my volume on here. It's not a dictionary list that I need. I need to add stuff to the public class of the county resource data. I think. Or the county improvement needs to keep track. No, it's going to be in the county. It's got to definitely be in here. So we have work like this amount is kind of pointless. Why was I doing it that way? Why can't I just use a list? Why can't I just use a list without this int here? This would be in the county resource data. Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't do what I wanted it to do. County resource data. Where have I stashed you? Somewhere. Oh, I got three things, 3 rows. County generation. Here we are. Why did I make that a dictionary? It could work with just a list, and it just pulls the number from the list. Huh. Oh yeah, we never put in this isn't in use yet. Daily chance of the item to fail. This isn't used yet. Why did I do a dictionary? There must be some reason. Let's pretend it like mentally here with, in our brains. Let's pretend like, wait, Fisher's Shed. This was just a list. We would click on the thing in the list and we could see the amounts and stuff. We would change the amounts in the, because it would have the resource here. Yeah, in our laps. Man, that made me remember a book. What book was that? Billionaires Boys Club. I think it was a movie, The Billionaires Boys Club. That's a true story based on these guys who were rich kids who decided to start a business of scams. That's not how you spell billionaires. Billionaires Boys Club. It will figure it out for me here. Oh, they made another movie about that? There's an older one. I forget what it's called. Yeah, the BBC movies. No. Kevin Spacey. This came out like, here we go. The 87 one. So anyways, they pulled this scheme. They pulled this scheme and it didn't work out how they wanted, so they decided to murder this guy. They decided to go over to this guy's house and force him to transfer money into their bank account, and then then murder him. And this is a true story. And I think in that movie they talk about they shoot the guy with shotguns until his face explodes and his brain pops out into his lap. And that's what made me think of that was the outside the brain. Because then they have this thing about like where to them it felt like they were, because he was kind of scamming them too, um, that he was revealing all of his secrets by his brain exploding out of his head. I think it was from that. What a weird diatribe to go, or sidetrack to go on. That's a yeah. There's also a Big Black song called something that's really good. Big Black Billionaires Boys Club. I cannot spell billionaires for the life of me. Big Black song. It's so old that they're just like, meh. You know, it could be like pop culture. Sometimes they have that at the bottom. Because one of the things they did is things to do. So they made a murder list. They made a checklist of the things they were going to go do to this dude. And one of the items on the list was kill the dog. So the guy had like 2 dogs or something that he loved. And they figured that he would know they meant business if they killed the dogs. So that's what that song is. That's why it's kill the dogs. Emphasis, kill the dog. Oh, I guess it's just one dog. Yeah. Brutal murder by rich kids who were so entitled. They didn't think they're gonna get caught too, and they like, literally, you know, in this day and age, they would have filmed themselves doing it. But back then, you know, they just kept all of all of the evidence right there, a list of their murder plans. But now that we're back on track here, let's think. So I don't think I need a list. I mean, I don't think I'd need a dictionary. Let's do a test. We have a test thing here, and we can go through. So on county improvement data, yeah. Here we have our test right here. So if we made this just a list, a Godot array or whatever they're called, whatever dumb thing they're called, just kidding, just kidding. And we did this by county resource data, and we would call this our test county resource list. And then we'll build this. Yeah, I don't remember that movie being very good, though. Like, the true story is insane, but I'm surprised they made a more recent one. Kevin Spacey's in it. Look at that! What's going on over there? Let's clear that. Let's build that. I think that was just from... Okay. County improvement data here. I don't think it built. It's acting strange. Something weird's going on. Where's our test? Test resource. So we could put in here... Yeah, we could put in here... Now we're going to add an element. Then we can click on this, and we can adjust the things that we need. We actually wouldn't need to adjust this stuff either. It would be built into the resource. Like with the failure rate and all that shit. I'm in the wrong spot here. Let's put this up here. Let's pretend this is the way we're gonna do it, and then we can like rename some shit and it will be better. We're not gonna use this at all anymore. So let's go back to our county data. So with our county data, we're gonna need a work cost somewhere. Let's put it here. It's gonna be public. It's gonna be ands. It's gonna be called work cost, and that's what I called it over here, right? I don't know where the fuck that shit was. It's in the banker. Is it? No, I don't know where it is. Nope, wrong one. It's in population AI. No, it's not. See, this is going to be the problem when I start breaking these down, is I'm never going to know where the fuck anything is. It's under the banker. I was right at the beginning. We call this, what did we call this? We didn't call it anything. Resource work cost. So we'll go back to our resource thing here. I think it's fine if we just call it work cost. The amount of work it takes to generate one of this resource, of this good. We're going to try to not use the word resource anymore because of this. Counting good data, goods data or something is what we should call it. Okay, so we have a work cost. Let's build this. Let's go to vegetables. No more shitty data. no shitty data allowed. Let's go to vegetables here. And we're going to say it costs 2. Okay, so then what else are we going to need in here? We're going to need to save in the work cost remainder. Remainder. Do we need to save this in here? Let's leave that there for a second, but I don't actually think we do. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We were under the banker. So we're not going to do this with a key value pair right now. We're going to do this with this test. We're going to do it with a test list, and this is going to be a county resource data. Okay, and then we're not going to need a key value pair here. We're going to go county resource data dot work cost minus the work amount for each resource. So then we're going to have this work left over. Well, yeah, and then we're going to say in here, if work left over is greater than 0, peanut butter cups, man, I like those things. I wish they were like higher quality, like the Hershey or whatever it is. That shit's such low quality shit. And I feel like every time I get them, it's worth. Why they're worse. Steven, how's it going? I am doing good. So if their work left over is greater than 0, then we need to have another int somewhere. We need to do two things. Let's put an int up here. What does my note say? Subtract from the resource cost, and if the result is equal to or greater than 0, then one resource is generated. Resource good. We're going to call it good. Goods number of goods generated. And this is going to be this. And then this is going to be number. And then there's that weird thing that we ran into before there. What's your fucking problem? You got to be at 0? Yeah. You got to be at 0. Okay. KD. Okay, so if the work left over is greater than 0, I know now it's a thing. It's like a thing. I don't know if it's before or after. Think it's after. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna write. It's not gonna read it. It's not reading it. Then we need to do this again though. So we need. This is gonna be its own method. Eventually this. No, I guess it's gonna be right now. It's gonna be right now. It's gonna be its own method. We're gonna call this. I don't even know what this shit is anymore. I mean, I know I looked at it 5 seconds ago and I said I might need this later, but I'm just going to get it out of here because it's annoying me. And I haven't even... We could put the method in here, but now we'll put it out here. This is going to be a private void subtract work amount from cost. Cost? Yeah. And then we'll cut this shit out of here. We'll put it in here. And then we'll actually be returning an int. And then what do we need? The county data resource. And we need work amounts for each resource. So we're going to go county resource data, comma, int work amounts for each resource. And then we're going to return. Can I just put like a return right here or something like that? I didn't initialize this though. Can I do that? Can I just do that? No. Okay, fine. Fuck you. Int return and then this has to be work amount left over equals this, but we need this to be an int. Extract. It almost got me. It almost got me. That's the thing that I'm getting used to it almost getting me there. Where I'm like, what is this error? What is going on? Okay. So if this is... No, this isn't going to work. We need a loop right here. We need it to loop through. So we need it to say, like, we need it to run We need it to hit this thing. If it, and basically have it go back to the top, you know, not to the top. It's just, you get what I mean. I can try a while thing. I hate the while. I'm scared of the while this is. How did while? Because I'm scared of them because they always just crash my shit. Uh, uh, while. Let's look. Look. I've looked at this before. So this is pretty much what we want this to happen. Um, so how do we do this? I have a feeling that I'm doing something very bad here. Oh, but we can't check it. Equals. Needed some of this here. Work amount left over. What is that going to start as, though? We can't start it as 0, otherwise it's never going to go in here. We need to start it as we do need to have it then. No, this isn't going to work either. Well, no, because I need it to stop when it's at 0. This isn't going to work either. We have other problems here. So what it's got to do, all work generated is applied to all resources. Get the work amount and the number of resources. This is, all right. This whole thing is garbage. This is trash. Everything here is trash. All right. This is what we got to do. Let's go through this again. We can figure this out. It's not that fucking hard. All right, I think. All work generated is applied to. Get them the work amount and the number of resources. All right, we have the worker amount. This is generated. Let's going to say it's 10. It's 10 right now. This is just for this one person. Number of resources. We add this up. We divide this. Let's say it's 2. So we have 5 right now in my mental test. We need to subtract the 5 from this thing. This is what we need. Next. Let's copy this. Okay, so we know that. Oh, get the fuck out of here. So we know the work. So we have the work amount. We don't have our county resource data. No, we don't. Okay. Subtract from the resource from each. We need to get it to go through once before it goes and keeps subtracting from the first one. So that we have okay, so we need to go back to here. But this also, go back here. Both these things do need to be in here. Get this out of here. So we have this number that, so with our example of 5 and this work amount, the cost is 2. So we're going to have a 3 left over. We have a 3 left over. And we don't, I subtract, number of goods generated plus plus. I deleted that at some point. Okay, so we've gone through and we've subtracted. We have the work amount left over. This has to be out of this thing though, because we need it for the next part. So it finishes this loop, right? We need this back over here. If, why am I struggling with this? It's one of those days, you know. Everything was rolling, just fucking nailing it. And then I guess maybe I got tired or something. I was talking about shooting people in the face with a shotgun and their brains popping out, and then that was it. Then my brain popped out. Subtract the work amount for each resource from the resource work cost, which is what we have. If the work amount is greater than 0, number of goods per generated is 1. All right, and I've been trying that. All right, so this is correct, and then but that's gonna go. So then it's gonna go to the next resource, and it's gonna do the same thing. But we still have this work amount left over, so that's not gonna work. We need this work amount left over. All right, this is what we need. This needs to be a minus right here. What's your fucking problem? And then we need this resource to actually keep track of this. So we do need this work cost remainder. I wasn't sure, but we do. Where are we at here, banker? This is going to be gone. County resource data. So we need to subtract this from whatever it was there before. This is wrong too, though. So the work cost remainder, no. If this is less than or equal to 0, then the number of goods goes up. All right, so now that's wrong. Okay, so we have our 5 as our example, and it costs 2 to make. We subtract 5 from 2. We now have a -3. Is that right? My brain. Calculator. 2 minus 5 is -3. All right, if it's less than or equal to 1, we've generated 1. So this is right, but we need to subtract the cost now from this. So we need to have, this number is right. We need to subtract the work amount for each resource. Needs to be we need to do that. Oh. This is in a different order than this. And this is, oh God. Work amount for each resource. I think this is going to need to be on the county improvement. Yeah, we're passing it here. And is this number going to be needed? Yeah, this number is going to be needed for a lot of things. So let's put it here. Not a lot, a few things. Then we're going to go back over to here to our banker. We're actually going to call it this work amount for each resource. Work amount. These things I'm pretty sure are done, but we will get to that soon enough. I'll put a note on here for tomorrow. I have a feeling that I'm gonna be done here for programming for the day. Like literally, my brain just suddenly stopped working. 2 minus 5, right? Banker. Subtract work amount from cost. So we subtract the work amount from the cost, and we have work amount left over. This can just be this. I mean, we're already doing this. No, this can be a negative number. Oh my God. Why did this suddenly become difficult? It's not that hard. Work amount left over equals county resource data minus the work cost. So we can have that -3. We're at -3 by this point, but we need to keep track of how much work we've spent, work amount we've spent. So that's what then we do it the other direction. And we subtract the work. Why are these different? Negative left, right. Negative value. I think this should be like this. How do I normally do it? What is the difference between negative equals and equals negative? It is subtract. Okay, so I want negative equals. It's not telling me that's a problem. Are you sure about that? Equals negative. All right, so wait, which is not valid? Wasn't giving me a hard time. I think you're wrong. I'm going to tell it that. I think you are wrong. You're absolutely right, I'm wrong. You know, it's funny. It says you're absolutely right that I'm wrong, but then it says the same thing. Yeah, well, exactly. It did exactly that. It's like, no, you're right, but here's what I'm saying, which is exactly the same thing. Okay. This is the one I wanted, though. Negative minus equals this. So this is subtracting whatever comes out of here, and it's returning this. But we also need to get this. So we need to keep track of this, though. We don't have the county. We don't have the county improvement, though. I'm going to cut this thing out of here. I'm going to cut this out of here, and we're going to do this differently, temporarily. Once again, it's back to the thing. Sometimes I feel like I gotta do it. Then we need the work cost. No, this is the one we just did. Jesus Christ, just get rid of all this crap for a second. We'll come back to this. I gotta write it all down. I only got 13 minutes left, which is probably a good thing. Because you know we were rolling and then we stopped. Okay, work remainder cost or work cost remainder. I no longer like this being called remainder because it's making me think of a remainder, and I mean it is, but it isn't. Leftover. Okay. So we have the county improvement resource keeps the work cost left over on the resource data. Then we do this. The work cost is some number that we just type in on the inspector. Work amount for each resource, which is up here. So at this point, we're at the -3. But we need to know how much work is left over in that county improvement. That shouldn't be a capital though. Hopefully we have this in here somewhere. I guess we don't. We do. We go county population, current, so we have this county improvement and we want, so we're still in the for loop. We work cost left over, we have this. Then we get that generated. Then we're gonna need the work amount is what this is how much work amount we have left over. And this should equal this. No, this should equal this. Whoa. Should equal this minus the county work cost. It should be different because it's doing it in a different order. And then I think that thing took care of itself, the semicolon. This was static before. It was so nice. You know, we don't need it to be static. I mean, we don't need it not to be static. We can go back in here and put this to, I think. Go away. Go away. Okay, there we go. Oh God, what did I click on? Banker. Let's put more notes in here too. Divide the work amount by the number of resources and ditch the remainder. Subtract the work amount for each resource cost, and if the result is greater than, okay, so we can get rid of this. Number of goods generated is at 0. That's not going to work either, because we need to know when we're done with this loop. Well, when we, like, this thing is just one person. Maybe I'm going about this all wrong. So we're going to need number of goods generated here to be in the county improvement data. And this is going to be, we don't need it to be 0 until the very end. It should zero it itself out. Which I'm going to have to remember for tomorrow because I don't think we're going to get there today. Well, we haven't even got it to work yet. Once I get it to work, I probably will see if there's a better way to do it. But I don't think this is a thing that like the code can fix. I'm looking at the logic wrong. Like how I'm producing work for each person. Like each person's going to generate a bunch of work. Oh my God, I think that's better. That's right. Then just do it right. What about, wait. This is what we do. This is better. This is better logic. We go through and we have the work. We go through and we generate all the work first. So we're not doing this with every person. So every person is not going to do this dividing and all this shit. It's going to go through every person and generate just their work amount. And that work amount will be added into a, so instead of it being a 10, it will be a 50 at the end of the day. And then we'll use this 50 to do all of this stuff instead of having to go through each resource. That's the way to do it for this step. That's much better. So I'm going to rename this just to per person. All right. So then we're going to this is a set number. Let's just not even look at this garbage right now. Let's comment all this out. I know I just did a bunch of work, but I think this is gonna be way better. Okay, so then this is just a person. We need in our county improvement data, like work. Get the fuck out of here. Population, current county improvement data, current county improvement, work completed. Work amount completed is what we're going to want. Can I just generate this from here? I think I can, but it always does something weird. Generate field. And if I go through to here, it generates, yeah, it does like this weird internal object thing. I don't know what that crap is. Okay. Let's just put all this stuff down a little bit. It'll make more sense tomorrow when I come back. Public int daily work amount completed. Copy this thing. Go back to here. I could have named it. Oh my God. Just get rid of this shit. I could have just renamed. I could have. Okay. Daily work amount completed equals globals. No. We need this test wherever it was. It's buried in here somewhere. Generate work amount. Okay. So literally that's all we need right now. So with this, we have this work amount generated. I'm going to try to close this off here. Why don't you like me anymore? You liked me for a second. Are we returning something? No, it's just a static void. Oh, is that the problem? Is it's a static? The name generates. We got some. There's a thing in the wrong spot. Add story. Yeah, there's a thing in there. Oh, they're starting to go away here. You too. All right. It just took a long time. I really need to get a new computer. I have like a leak in my bathroom and I got to redo my whole fucking bathroom though. I asked the guy, like, I said to the guy when he was looking for the damage to my bathroom for the leak, I was like, "Can't, it could be worse, right?" And he was like, "No, it couldn't be worse." So it's a complete redo. Banker. Back to the banker. So we now have this number saved. Work per person, daily work amount completed is now saved to the work per person is completed. And the banker is then going to need something that's called like generate work calculate or something. Calculate work to goods. So it's going to need something like that. And we're going to need to pass in at least a county population. At least. So we have all of this is generated. So we've already done the math on that. And then we're going. Well, that's not going to. What are we passing in here? County data. And then we go through each population. This shouldn't be here. This should be. So workday over. We've generated all of our work, and it's assigned to the county data. So the it's only up from there. I mean, yeah, I guess I was been joking around, like making a totally, I guess I'm gonna call it goth bathroom, like black and red, like crazy mirrors. I wanted to get a mirror that you could turn on and off the reflection, but it turns out that you know, like, so that people would go in there and I could have it off and they would think that they're a vampire. Turns out that's a big pain in the ass and it doesn't exist unless you use some weird shitty digital version. All right, so this is going to generate all the work and it's assigned to the county improvement. But then when we're done with that part, we need to go to here. No, we need to put it. Yeah, I don't like what this is. Workday over. See, this passes in each person, which is fine, but we don't need it. There's probably actually a better way to do this. It just dawned on me. We can do it by county improvement instead of by person. But it's fine. We'll leave it like this. So this is going to get workday over, but this is once again by person. We don't need it by person. So underneath this, we're going to add in banker. I think it's actually on my clipboard. There we go. And then we're going to pass in the county data. I'm going to put some notes for tomorrow. Why? Oh, that's fine. Yes. We're going to fix this to county data. county data. We're going to leave this in here just in case tomorrow I completely forget what I was doing and I'll get an error every time this happens. This should go through each county, go through the list of completed county improvements and do the math to generate the resources, the goods they generate. Okay. What are you still complaining about down here? We fixed it. There we go. Let's close this thing. I have to take a piss really bad too. So, 2 reasons to stop the stream. We're getting very close though. Okay, we're getting somewhat close. This is a big one though that I had totally forgot about. So it's kind of like a rewrite of a major foundation of the game. Fixed a few small county improvement panel issues and started work on if a county improvements takes goods generation takes more than a day. This is quite a long, that's probably my longest comments I've ever written. That's pushed. And one day we're going to go back and get all these things too. I don't believe that some of these can be static. But anyways, that is it for me today, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you tomorrow, most likely.